this side. What's up, YouTube? We out here cruising. We're just a little chop it up session. Really quick little walk and talk. It's just so beautiful outside. And the temperature's so on point. I just figured I'd go for a walk real quick with my guys. I want to give everybody a shout out who we met today in Atlanta. I hope all you guys had a great day. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. I want to talk about the benefits of having a large breed dog. Although it's a lot of responsibility, but there's a lot of things that the benefits of having a large breed dog in public. I was out in Atlanta with a friend today doing some networking and some business with him, and time just got right past us because he had a great mind, and we were just able to discuss so many different things. So just the hours just flown by. So we were in Atlanta, and we were just standing around a busy part of Atlanta, and people just kept walking by, real high traffic area. And I like bringing the dogs out in public to give them that balance that they need with being respectful towards humans and other animals, especially Q. Q really needs that time around other animals because he becomes a little aggressive. Not even aggressive, he just becomes a little anxious because he just really wants to just hang out with the other animals. Come on. And of course, people don't know that, so they're like, yo, get your dog, da-da-da-da. No pull. And so I'm really working on that. I'm slick trying to do training at the same time when I take him in public. It's a teaching opportunity for him. But why I would suggest a woman or even a man to get a large breed dog, and I think all dogs have this instinct, but a large breed dog comes with a presence. And my friend and I, we were discussing different topics as people were approaching us. You know, some would ask, can they pet the dogs? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, cool, yeah, go ahead. And they would love on the dogs for a second, the dogs would enjoy it. And then there were some people who would walk by the dogs and Q would have this reaction, like get back reaction. And after about 4 or 5 different experiences like that, where Q would start to bark and growl at the people, we began to notice, well, I noticed, and he was noticing it too, but I had noticed the different characteristics, the similar characteristics that the people would have. And they were all males. And they had the energy, you know, when you're walking up to somebody and they have dogs, and you might get in that mode like, jack this dog up if I have to, or, you know, they get in a defensive mode and they parade like, I'll kill that dog if I had to. Well, they had that type of energy in their walk. They were like, I'm not afraid, I don't care. And that's when Q would respond. Q would respond. And him and I would be in a deep conversation, enjoying one another. And then Q would be like, and I would look up. I'll keep my head on the swivel. I will always be aware of my environment, but I would just look up to see what that person is about, you know what I'm saying? And I could see their vibration. They're on some, I wish that dog would type energy, and their They're just walking past us. Excuse me. So we were getting to notice that, and also there were some people who, you know, you could tell they were a little bit off, and either Dirty RQ would zone in on them, and the people that were a little bit off, either they'll cross the way so that they won't have to be close to the dogs, but the dogs will still be like noticing their spirit and their energy and stuff like that. And that's why I would suggest that a single woman should get a large breed dog, because that large breed dog is going to protect you. It's not going to allow nobody to put their hands on you. But the key to having a large breed dog as a woman, you have to show that dog that you are going to be in charge. Because especially with boys, my two boys, especially with boys, you always have to remind them that you are in charge, because they'll always try to pull rank. If you would get scared of your dogs in the midst of owning them, then I wouldn't suggest you get a large breed dog. But if you have a spirit that, you know, be like, I can pull this off, I can do this, then I think it's a great thing for you to have. It's a great tool, a great tool to have. Now, don't get me wrong, Q, he's a boss. He's a boss in his own right. And sometimes he even get mad at me, but he never bitten me. He might have growled and showed me all his pearly whites because he didn't like what I was doing or whatever. All right, especially messing with his feet. But he has never bitten me. And there's also things that I know that I learned from other dog owners, how to make your dog submit to you and to show rank as if you're in the wild. And I'm gonna make a video of that. I'll make a video of that so that you guys can know, because if you can't do that with your dogs, then your dogs will not trust you. And basically they don't trust you. So they feel like, hey, if I can't trust you, it's me against you type of energy. But I'm fortunate I've practiced those things with Dirty and Q, and they both trust me. They both will surrender and allow me to be the authority. Even though they're boys and even though they're animals, you know, they have their nature about them. But you have to keep your nature about you. And I can notice like certain YouTubers who have animals and stuff, you know, their channels based upon them and their animals. I could tell who like is in that energy of I'm the leader of the pack. Don't get it twisted. And I'm gonna enjoy you guys, but I'm the leader, you know, because you know you can see it in a vibration in the human, because it brings a little edginess to the human, because you have to stay on that hierarchy in order to get them to comply. Even with Dirty, when I got Dirty wouldn't listen the way I desire him to listen. And it's because he did not know me. And you know, even Q, when I first got Q, I had to start him off with an e-collar because he would growl at me, and I'm like, oh, okay. He got on my couch one time when I first met him, and I was like, nah, player, we don't do that over here. And he wouldn't get off, and he just was growling at me. I said, okay, you got this. So I manipulated him with some treats. Finally got him in his kennel. And I said, next day I go get off work, I'm gonna get an e-collar. I got an e-collar and got Q right in order. And that was that. So e-collars are good, especially when you adopt a dog and you don't want to correct him with your hand. You don't want to correct him, you know, in a sense where he's like feeling like you're a threat to him. E-collars are good. They got a little sound buzz on them. Buzz that you can use. And, you know, they'll learn real good. Good stop. Sit. Good sit. Good boys. So, Dirty, good sit. Good boys. Up. Let's go. Every once in a while, just make them think, give them a commandment. Have them always concerned about you. So back to, just being in the public, with large breed dogs and how they will protect you and how, these guys were just walking past one guy was like, make sure you have your dog, make sure you hold on to your dog. And he could have easily crossed the street, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted to walk strictly right by them, you know what I'm saying? And he's talking mess all the whole time, pushing his basket. And, older me, or the old me would be like, man, shut up, or, something like that. But I was just chilling, and the guy I was with, he made light of the situation. So that was cool. But shout out to you, Gerard. What else? But we have to understand. Come on, guys. We are spirits. Us humans, we are spirits. We can get caught up on the carnality of it all and look at our physiques, our size, our body, our race, but we're also spirits. And there was this one lady, an older white lady. She was in the city with her family, and she had the vibration, no pull. She had the vibration like move out my way type. And everybody see these big giant dogs. She got out of her car, she set her alarm, and she is acting like she didn't see us there, like I was supposed to move, and I'm not doing that. You better look up and recognize you got a beast of a man in front of you, and you got two Rottweilers in front of you. Play if you want to. And she and her husband, he moved out the way, and he had his child with him, their child with him. And she's just acting nonchalant. And don't get me wrong, some women are not on point like that, where they are aware of their surroundings. But by the time she looked up, her fist was right by Dirty's nose. And it was almost like she just wanted me to move the dogs and be like, oh man, watch out. I'm not moving. You came into my space. And that's one thing about having the balance with your dogs, keeping them aggressive, keeping them caring, so that they can have the balance. And that's one thing about Rottweiler, the Rottweiler breed. They're analytical. I can sit there and watch them think, and it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Like I can give Q some water, and Q, he might throw something up in the house, right there where you guys normally see some of the videos. And Dirty will be looking at the throw up, look at Q, look at me, and he's watching, he's wondering how I'm going to respond to that. Now, check this out. Dirty is such a manipulator at times. Dirty, I can be like, starting my day or upstairs doing what I'm doing upstairs, and Dirty might want to go out. So Dirty would try to force himself to throw up. He'll be like, just because he know I care for these guys. He know I care for them. So he'll try to throw up so I can come downstairs to mess with him. And I checked him. I caught on to it. I'm like, that's a no. And he like, I just want to hang out. But when Q had threw up on the floor, I watched Dirty look at Q, look at the throw up, look at me. And just so that Dirty would know that that's not acceptable, I had to pretend to be bothered by it. Even though me and Q have a relationship and I understand what Q's going through, I had to get up and be like, Q, that's a no. Get in your house. I had to correct him for it, even though, what Q did wasn't wrong. But I know how Dirty thinks, and Dirty will use that as a manipulation. So I put them both in the kennel, closed the kennel, went and sit back down. made them think that they were punished, and then I brought them back out, you know what I'm saying? And then we continued to enjoy our life and stuff like that. So this is different things. Dogs are very intelligent, and you want to give them that balance. You know, sometimes when Q barks at people, I let him do his thing because, you know, all these dogs have their own little vibration, and I don't want to take their vibration or their character away from them and stuff like that, because they're doing things for a reason. I know Q barks when he might hear somebody walking down the street, or my neighbor, he might bark. But if I happen to know that Dirty's barking, then I know it's something different. Let me be a little bit more aware. And I know Q, he knows how to get out of his kennel. I set it up where he can get in and out his kennel, and he will protect. My last house I was in, Q tried to run through a window to get at somebody walking down the street. I come home and I see blood on his nose. I'm like, what's wrong, buddy? What happened? I look out the glass window, and I had a type of window that was from the floor to the ceiling, and there was a hole in it. I said, you try to get at somebody. And that's exactly what he did. So, you know, he's with the business, and Dirty's watching him, and he's learning from him. And I think that Q is a great example of a dog with balance. But I think Dirty's going to be even greater dog because his temperament. But we just got to coming up this little hill, and it was drizzling just a second ago. That felt pretty good. But yeah, having large breed dogs will keep a potential predator. It will give you time to get to your weapon. It'll give you time to be alert, give you time to get away. It'll allow you, the dog will create space between you and your threat, and you could potentially live to see another day, because they're gonna catch on to those vibes as soon as that person gets on the scene. But it's your responsibility to let that dog know what he can and cannot do when it comes to like pulling you, going up to people. They can only go up to people when you give them the okay. You can't allow them just approach people assuming that people are all dog lovers. Come on, Dirty. So it's really work, and with boys it's repetitive work because they're always trying to move up the ranks. Girls, I've had girl pit bulls in my life, and they're definitely different. But boys, they're always trying to climb up the hierarchy, and you always have to be willing to let them know who is boss. Come on. So that's that. Again, thank y'all for listening to the Walking Talks. This is just me, you know, just chopping it up based upon what I experienced today, which was a great day. They had so much attention. They didn't know what to do with it. And it's a blessing to see how dogs change people's lives. They change the vibration. It raises your energy. The people just was reacting and wanted to speak and wanted to pet the dogs. And it was like I was blessed the fact that that's what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, of course you can pet him. Of course, you know, you guys can take pictures of him or whatever. And even those who were in the cars just riding by, they would just smile. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to get smiles out of people these days. So it was just a blessing to see what the Most High, how he allowed the connection between humans and animals, the effect that they had, the positive effect they can have on us. So with that, we're gonna say peace, and y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.